Hi, this is Jaya. Now we shall see the summary of R. L. Stevenson's An Apology for Idlers. Now, who are idlers? Idlers means people who are wasting their time, people who are lazy, and they are wasting the time because they are lazy. All these people will come under the category of idlers. But R. L. Stevenson feels that the general concept of how people look on these idlers must change. And this is a very thought provoking essay, and he has written it in a very humorous and a witty style, and there is so much of irony in it. But we should understand that R. L. Stevenson himself was a very good reader of books. He used to read so many books, he used to travel a lot, and he has also written many short stories and writing. So definitely this is not something out of his own personal apology for himself, but it is general observation what he saw and his ideas about it, and this he has written in a very beautiful way. So we'll just see. And his other famous novels are Treasure Island and Black Arrow, which each and every literature students or lovers of literature would have definitely read. And here in this particular An Apology for Idlers, Stevenson opposes the ideas that which every one of us have, thinking that only if you work very hard and if you read a lot of books and only if you concentrate a lot on education you will become a success. He says that the education which we get in the streets means not literally the roadside. He says what you are getting in your experience. He says that education is much better than what you get in the classrooms, and he says that definitely books can never be equal to what you experience in your life. And for that he gives examples of great men like Charles Dickens, Shakespeare, Balzac and others. Like he says that these people, they learned from their own life. They did not go to any classrooms and they did not acquire knowledge through the classroom teaching, but they learned everything from their own experience and out of their own interest. And he says they enjoyed nature, and nature is something which makes men wise, and that we will never get from the classroom. But generally he says that parents and elders will advise young men to study books with lots of hard work, and they say only if you study lots of books you will obtain knowledge. But he says that once one worldly wise man, he got angry with a young man because this young man ran away from the classroom to enjoy nature. And when he asked him, why did you run away from the classroom, the young man said that he wanted peace and contentment, so he went to nature. So he says nature is only the place where you can get peace and also contentment. You will be satisfied, whereas in any other source you will not get this. So he says I will definitely support only the young man, because that knowledge which he gets from his own experience is much better, and that knowledge only is full of wisdom which will be helpful in your life. And he says go outside, go to the nature, listen to the sweet songs of the birds, the rustle of the leaves, the murmuring sound of the river and the breeze. Then you will understand how much of food you get for your thought, and that will help you a lot. And he also brings in the reference of Saint Beuve, who is a very great French writer, who said that each and everyone's life is like a great book. It is a single great book, because everyone's life has lot of things which we can learn from and they can learn from, and without experience there is no life. So he says that each and everyone's life, whether you are a great person or whether you are an ordinary person, your life is full of experience, and that is what you have to learn. And moreover he says if a young man is completely dependent on books for knowledge, he will only be as fool as Lady of Shalott. And this Lady of Shalott is the person who comes in Tennyson's famous poem Lady of Shalott, and she is a very beautiful lady, but she is cursed, and because of this curse what she will do is she will be weaving a web day and night. And how she will be weaving is she will be looking at the mirror and she will be weaving the web. She is only seeing the shadow, she is not seeing the real web. In the same way, if you are a bookworm, you will be like this Lady of Shalott. You will never see the real world, but you will only be seeing the shadow of it. So you will not get the full experience, and at the same time you will not be able to enjoy the beauty of nature also. And he says that we should not think that busy people are not efficient in vitality. He says that you should not think that only if you are busy, if you are working very hard, then you will be someone of importance, because when a person is very idle, he is not doing anything, in another way he will be developing a strong personality, he will be an individual person. And another thing is, since he is not doing any work, he will take interest in mankind, he will take interest in other people, and so he will be able to move with everyone in a very sociable way. And he'll become, later on he'll become a man of great experience, because he knows how to make others happy. And another thing is, because he has lots of time, because he is not doing any work, he has lot of time, he will have practical wisdom, and this wisdom will help him to solve the problems of life in a very easy method. Whereas a man who is doing a lot of work, he has to complete his work, therefore he will be thinking only about him and his work, and in later on he will become a selfish and a narrow minded person. And at the same time, since he has lots of work, he will have no curiosity at all, and later on, after a few years, you will find that he becomes a very dull person. And particularly these people who are working very hard, they would have worked hard even in school and colleges, because they wanted to be high ranking students and getting medals and all that. And even after leaving school, because they are very successful in students, they will get a good job, and so they will be continuously working for a long time. So this working from your school, then college, then in your work, that is, you're working for a very long time and you're putting in a lot of hard work, they will become tired. But if you take these idlers, they would have wasted their time in school also, they would have wasted their time in college also, that is, they won't have taken studies very seriously. So they will be, even after that, they won't be working in some place where they'll have to work very hard. So they'll have lots of energy, and since they have lot of energy, they'll be very happy. And since they are very happy, they can make even others happy. This is what R.L. Stevenson says. And then he says that generally what do we think is, we complain about these idlers, saying that they don't do any work, therefore they are national waste. He says no, this is not true, because in society we have so many people to do work, and so we need not think about these idlers and only because them they are a waste. Because in the world's nature is that if one man dies, it doesn't mean that his work will stop with that. There will be another man who will come and do in this work. And for this he gives the reference of Joan of Arc, the great French heroine. And when someone told her that she has to go and work at home doing washing and spinning, she said that there are plenty of women at home who can do such work. Whereas her object of life is different, her principles are different, and at a very young age she became a soldier, she fought the wars and gave France her victory which she needed at that time. Until today people praise her because she is a patriot of France. And he says that R.L. Stevenson says that these idlers, they will give more pleasure than these people who are very successful in life or who are very hardworking, because these hardworking people's mind will always be busy, because they'll have lots of works, they'll have lots of plans, and they'll have so much of work to be completed. And he says that pleasures are more better than duties, because pleasure is something which comes naturally to human beings, but duty will come only because you have the responsibility to do it and you are forced to do it. And another thing is, pleasure has the benefit of making the giver and the receiver, both of them, to be happy. So he says a person who is very idle is a wise man than a person who is a bookworm. And he says that when these people are in a particular place, everyone who is around them will be very happy. For this he gives another example. He gives examples of Falstaff and Barabbas. Falstaff is a Shakespearean character, and he is a not very honest person, and he is a drunkard. But when he comes on the stage, people all love him because he can make them to laugh. But whereas this Barabbas is Marlowe's character in the Jew of Malta, he is a Jew there. He is a person who is greedy for money. So he never even smiles at other people, and he is always thinking only about how to make money, how to generate more and more money. So people will not like him. So he says, what is of being a person who no one likes you? Be like Falstaff. It is okay even if you're an idle person, but you can make others happy. And finally he says that nature will not carry about only about a single individual, because he says no one is important in the society. If you think without Shakespeare there is no literature, it's not like that. There would have been someone else who would have come and he would have filled up that void, because there are millions and millions of people in this world, and everyone in this world They are only looking at others who will smile at them and will talk with them with kind words. And for this he gives one another example. He says you shouldn't think that you are the only person who's great, because Alexander the Great, he went once and met a cynic philosopher, Diogenes. And since Alexander the Great is a very great personality, he asked him whether he needed any help from him. And you know what is the reply that this Diogenes replied? He said that please move a little away from your spot where you're standing so that I can continue to enjoy the sunlight. Imagine, he was already very happy. He was enjoying the nature, he was enjoying the sunlight when Alexander came, and he considered that whatever Alexander is going to give him is nothing great which is going to make him happy. So you can understand that no one is indispensable. We cannot think that without this person nothing will happen. At the same time, he gives another example saying that the Goths captured Rome, and they thought this will shock the Senate members. But when they went and told this to the Senate members only sat silently as if nothing happened. And this made the Goths get disappointed, because when you are successful, when you do something, you will expect a reaction from others. You will expect either to shock them or to make the others respond in a very good way about your success in life. But when others are not going to be moved by what you are saying, or when you're not going to get the exact response what you're expecting from others, then your success will not give happiness to you itself. So R.L. Stevenson says, so why do you be so busy? Just be an idle person. But actually he is not advising this to anyone. He is only supporting the idlers, and he is telling that don't think that they are a waste in the world, because they also have some purpose. Maybe they are not successful in life, maybe they are not very intelligent and all that, but they have the capacity to be sociable with other persons. They will know how to move with you, and since they have lot of time, because they don't have much important work to do, they will know what real life is, and they will know how to solve problems. Above all, everything he says that only these people have the capacity to make others happy. So this is how he apologizes for the idlers. I hope you would understood this essay. I recommend you to read the original essay, because it's really so nice and very humorously written. Please like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe. Thank you.